Real quick video, Israel, giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakah Kadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, double honors to the apostle, elder bishops, great millstone. Much salutation to the brothers teaching the word for the hopeful elect, soon to be the elect, most high will. To the hopeful extended elect, shalom, blessings. Getting right into it. Concerning at camp, these two young females, they don't look more than 23 years old, Maybe the max, it seemed like they're probably like 25. They seem like younger though. But, the one on the left seemed like, she said she was a pastor, but for one, these are real young women. They probably would be like 19 or 20, but anyway, you could just tell like this generation today have no respect for their elders. We're clearly older than them. We have more knowledge than them, regardless, of what they feel or think. We have more experience, and this is on a common level, just a regular, everyday, common man on earth. So you could tell these children of today grew up without without obedience, without respecting their parents. And they feel like they could just walk up and say anything to any man, any person, whatever. And a lot of these teenagers today, they in that mindset, not regarding their elderly or elderly people. I'm not talking about old people, that can hardly get around. I'm talking about just older than them in knowledge and wisdom and understanding. Period. Older than them in experience. So, and of course, if you don't know history, you can't teach the Bible. If you don't know about the Roman Empire, you don't know about the Greek Empire, the Babylonian Empire, Persian and Medes, the Greek Empire, you can't teach the Bible. Most High said it over and over again. We teach over again that Most High deal with nations. And if you pull in that John 3:16, as God so loved the world, you got to put the Bible down. If you believe that world is talking about everybody, then you got to quit teaching. I'm talking about any pastor, any preacher that deems himself to be called by God. Yeah, you're done. And they, these are the kind of people that don't know what's going on in the world. They're not concerned about World War III. They're not concerned about the end of the world. They're not concerned about prophecies. They're not tending to prophecies. They're not teaching about prophecies. And they kept saying Jesus, so they're not teaching in the real name of the Son of God, the Father and the Son. So they couldn't have the Holy Spirit. So, we were having a little bit of fun with them, But if you feel you know something, first of all, you got to be a student way before you become a teacher. So if you haven't sat down and shut your mouth, two ears open and one mouth closed, then you haven't learned anything and you haven't been a student. So that's another thing. You have to be a student before you become a teacher. And we know the rules. That's in life, you know. Uh, so you could see her face, like she's disgusted. The one on the right. She's the one that had the vulgar mouth, but you could tell she wasn't. She didn't. She wasn't raised to respect the adult. She don't respect her own parents. I could tell she got that spirit. Um, but um, it does say, lest he be taught, lest a teacher is sent to him. I think it's, let me see. So a lot of people they want to skip all that stuff and they want to, her father's probably a pastor that passed down pastorship to her. We told them women can't, they don't supposed to teach in the churches. They didn't have their head covered. They weren't humble. Uh, let me see. Oh, this is not the one I'm looking for. I think one of them said they were. I asked them if they were Jews. I don't know. I forget what they said. So this is kind of concerning men that were set up to teach, that feel they have the knowledge of God, and using as an example Romans 2:17. Behold, thou art called a Jew, and restest in the law, and makest thy boast of the Most High God, and knowest His will, and approvest the things that are more excellent, being instructed out of the law, and art confident that thou art thyself a guide of the blind, a light of them which are in darkness, an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes which have the form of knowledge and of the truth in the law. Thou therefore which teachest another, teachest not thyself. That thou that preaches a man should not steal, does thou steal? So, we get taught through examination of ourselves and listening and being actually studious and going over things to make sure, even so to speak, so-called proofreading, reading something over and over again. Starting with the apostle, elder, bishops on down, we talk about the same subjects. And a lot of people get boring with it because they be like, yeah, we know that, we learned that, but there's all kind of gems and jewels within the same lesson. So you could check your list, and then you go back. You say, well, thou that says a man should not commit adultery. Does thou commit adultery? That thou or hoardest idols? Does thou commit sacrilege? Sacrilege. So, you if you go have somebody going around and saying, well, they don't believe in idols, but they don't rebuke idol worship. That's a hypocrite. Um, I use an example of a bestiality, and they looked at me funny, like, "Oh, that's nasty," but you don't rebuke bestiality because in America, a couple of states, maybe more than a couple of states, admit bestiality, and you were like, "Well, damn, what's wrong? Who did this? What's wrong with what's going on with America that they would allow that? What's going on in America that they would allow sodomy, adultery? Why are not the adulterers getting arrested or stoned or judged? You know?" And then you say, "Well, I don't commit adultery, and I'm against it. I don't commit this, I'm against it. So I prophesy out there against it. So now you have a right in your judgment to do so, you know, because you're teaching what they shouldn't do that you don't do, as an example, you know. So you know, as far as coming from anyone coming from a Christian background, Christian, so-called Christian church community or whatever, neighborhood, whatever you coming from, claiming to be Christians, and then you were like, "Well, yeah, this is you telling us to get right, but are you right? And are you, rebuking those that are not right? Are you, considering the whole the world that we live in, your neighbors, the communities that are around the world? Do you consider that, you know, to say, yeah, they're going off? Do you consider, um, you know, your own pastor, you know, the people in the church that you go to? You know, if the pastor is not coming out with, rebuking these things, and then everyone that goes to that church just comes and goes as they please, and there's no correction, there's no instruction, no rebuke, then what is the church for? That's not even a church, man. You know, has to be some kind of accountability, man. It has to be some rebuke. That's why I said they hated him that rebuketh at the gate. We came to denounce evil, you know, and all these things that oppose itself against the Most High. So you can't be in this world, for this world, and then for the Most High. Like I said, you can't serve God and mammon. You can't be friendship with the world and enmity with the Most High. That's another scripture we came out with when they said, well, God so loved the world, but Yahweh Shai, the Son of God, didn't pray for the world. He said, I pray not for the world. And then it said friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High. So that's what they grew up believing, that you can be in this world and having your heart to care for this world and include everybody in the ministry, include everybody, there's no, like I said, there's no standard, there's no rebuke. Where's the disputer of the world? Where's the scribe? Where are the prophets, man? We know, the men are on the highways and byways. And it said in the scriptures, when you come, put thy foot in thy mouth when you come and speak before the Lord. But like I said, this America doesn't teach that. They teaching from American standards, American philosophies, American terminology, American education. That's what the Bible comes from the East, man. The Bible is already. It doesn't come. Nobody. These people didn't make it. They didn't build America and then say, well, you know what? We're gonna write a Bible and for all mankind. This came from the East, man. So you can't teach the Bible in an American Western mind state, man. So they're going, these people that tend to approach us, um, starting with the apostles, elders on down, they out of pocket already. As soon as they speak out of their mouth, they out of pocket because they thinking about Americanized, Westernized mentality of believing that's Jesus, that his name is Jesus, believing that's what he looked like, believing that God so loved the world, and they really only they much talking about America. Because soon as they go to war, they be like, well, yeah, we're gonna have to get them heirs, we're gonna have to bomb them, take care of them, get rid of them, kill them in the American way. I mean, in what do you call it? In the name of freedom and justice, and for all, in the name of the American way. America, America, America. They don't think that no, America is doing evil. We got to, this. So, I'm gonna start using that. Well, why are you coming against me? I'm an American. What do you mean? Well, America is a one world government. They all have this, all Christians supposedly. So why are you fighting your own people? I'm an American too. Paul used that. I'm a Roman. Why y'all going against me? I'm a Roman also. So, and basically he was cutting their asses, Because if you're going to call us, if you're going to say, well, we're American citizens, we pay taxes, and we have, what do you call it? We might have property here. We might, we pay rent here. See, that's why they're going to start changing these laws. But it's nothing too much you could do to me unless I get out of trouble with your law. Because the laws of America are not the same laws of the Bible. They don't pull you over and say, well, we saw you swerving. And are you drunk, sir? Because in the Bible, it tells you, you shouldn't have excess wine. Oh, okay, well, we're going to take you in because the Bible, you're breaking the laws of the Bible. You're breaking the rules. Nobody gets arrested for breaking the commandments. So, if we're all Americans and you say, well, do you believe in Jesus? I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe that he's a so-called white man, but I believe in freedom and justice and liberty for all, for them, like the Americans do. I'm an American. I mean, I was born here. I'm not American by spirit, but by birth, I'm an American. So y'all need to be going over there trying to teach these other nations about Christianity. Because I was born in this place, grew up in these churches, so to speak. So I know the game. It's not like nobody knows what's going on in the Bible. We have all gone to church. We like I said, they act like we ain't never went to church before. A lot of us grew up in these churches, man. We know what these churches are all about. We know, it's a timing with these churches. We know about and they even got worse. We haven't been since the truth, So I'm pretty sure it's gotten worse. But we know what it's all about. We're not new to this. We're not new to the American ways. We're not new to the lies in America and what's been covered up, the false education, false science, the pseudoscience. We're not new to that. So they're behind, man. They act like we just got off of a train or a boat and said, "Welcome to America. Do you know Jesus?" We know Jesus very well. Jesus is a damn, a character, man, that doesn't have any relevance to your salvation and the truth. We know Yahweh Shai. We know Yahweh. So, hey, this Americanized mind state is off, man. Anyway, hopefully this edifying to the next video. Shalom.